Welcome everyone. Today we will discuss about activity 2.2. Last time we discussed about types of mixture and we also discussed activity 2.1. So we discussed that there are two types of mixture. One is homogeneous mixture, homo means same, and the other one is heterogeneous mixture, hetero means different. We also discussed their in definition and some of the examples. So examples of homogeneous mixtures are salt solution, sugar solution or lemonade. All these are the examples of homogeneous mixture. Whereas heterogeneous mixtures, some of the examples are oil in water or mixture of sand and iron fillings, mixture of sand and water or mixture of sand and some pieces of stones. So all these are the examples of heterogeneous mixture. In case of heterogeneous mixture, the thing which you have to remember is that in case of heterogeneous mixture, the components they can be physically distinguished. For example, if we are having mixture of sand and iron metal fillings, then we are easily able to differentiate between where are the sand particles and where are the iron metal fillings. Same way, if we are having a mixture of salt, the salt which we are using at home, and sand, then again we will be easily able to physically distinguish them where are the salt particles and where are the sand particles. So such type of mixtures which are physically distinct, they are said to be heterogeneous mixture. And for homogeneous mixture, in that type of mixture, texture and composition and its color also, it should be uniform throughout the mixture, and that type of mixture is said to be homogeneous mixture. Now let us discuss about activity 2.2. It is given here that let us again divide the class into four groups A, B, C and D. Distribute the following samples to each group. Few crystals of copper sulfate to group A, one spatula full of copper sulfate to group B, chalk powder or wheat flour to group C, few drops of milk or ink to group D. Now as you can see that each group they are having different substance. The only thing that group A, they have got only few crystals of copper sulfate. Few crystals of copper sulfate, as I have told you, copper sulfate is a type of salt. It comes in the form of it seems to be powder, but it is in the form of crystals. Like if we will closely observe salt which we are using at home, they too seem to be powder, but they are also having some they are also actually small crystals. Same way, copper sulfate also, it is in the form of small crystals and its color is bright blue. So it is about the copper sulfate. So group A has got only few crystals of copper sulfate, whereas group B, they have got one spatula full of copper sulfate. Then group C, they have got chalk powder, and group D, they have got milk or ink. Now each group should add the given sample in water and stir properly using a glass rod. So each group, now they have to add their samples in water and they have to stir it. They have to properly dissolve it in water. Are the particles in the mixture visible? Now for different group, they are having different observation. For example, group A and group B, their observation will be the particles in the mixture, for them it is not visible. It is because just like if you are adding salt, just you are adding salt in water or sugar in water, if you are dissolving it, then you are not able to distinguish salt and sugar in water. Same way, if you are dissolving copper sulfate in water, then you will not be able to see the particles of copper sulfate. Only the color of the water, the color of the solution, it will change into blue. So this will be their observation, that in case of group A and group B, the particles of their sample, it is not visible. But for group C, if you are adding chalk powder in water, then definitely you will find that as chalk powder, they are not getting dissolved in water, so chalk powder, it will be easily visible. And for group D, again, if you are adding few drops of milk or ink in water, then the particles will not be visible individually, but the color of the solution will be different. Now the next is direct a beam of light from a torch through the beaker containing the mixture and observe from the front. So what you have to do, actually these all four groups A, B, C and D, they have to perform this activity in the glass beaker. So when they will do this in the glass beaker, and then when they will simply direct a beam of light, then they can observe it from the other side. So what will be their observation? Then again, these four they will be having different observation. For group A and group B, what they will observe, so here it is given that was the path of the beam of light visible. So for group A and group B, the path of the beam of light is not visible. Same way for group C also, as they have added chalk powder in water. So when they are stirring it, till then it seems to be suspended throughout the water, but as soon as they will leave it undisturbed for some time, then chalk powder will simply settle down, and when the beam of light will be directed with the help of torch, then the path of beam of light will not be visible once the chalk powder will settle down. But in case of group D, when they have added either milk or ink, some drops of milk or ink in water, and when they are doing this activity, then they will find that the path of the beam of light is visible. Now what is the meaning of, or how to understand that path of beam of light is visible? If you have observed this, you might have observed that in a dark room, from a minute hole or a very small hole, if any sun ray is just entering in the dark room, you find that the path of that sun ray, it is visible, path of the sunlight is visible. So that is said to be, that path of the beam of light gets visible. This is the meaning. So it can be in the solution, like this can also happen in mixture, this can happen in a dark room also. For that is why I have said that in case of that dark room, the path of light, sunlight, it becomes visible. And if you have not observed, you can do it, you can observe it, but the thing which you have to remember is the hole from which the sun ray is entering, that should be small, that shouldn't be large, otherwise you won't be able to understand this effect properly. Now leave the mixtures undisturbed for a few minutes. This point is also very important. The previous point once again we will be discussing because it is given later on this chapter in detail. Leave the mixture undisturbed for a few minutes and set up the filtration apparatus in the meantime. Is the mixture stable, or do the particles begin to settle after some time? Now for group A and group B, they will find that the mixture which they have got, it is stable. It is because copper sulfate particles, copper sulfate crystals which they have added, which they have dissolved in water, that is not going to separate if they are leaving it undisturbed for few hours then also. But in case of group C, what they will find, they will find that when they have mixed chalk powder in water and when they are simply leaving it undisturbed for few minutes, then chalk powder will start settling down at the bottom, and that is what they have. So what they will observe, they will observe that the mixture which they have got is not stable. It is because particles, they start to settle down, or particles start to separate after some time. Then in case of group D, as they have added ink in water, you can also perform this, and you will find that when you will simply add 1 or 2 drop of ink in water, then also it will remain as it is. It is not going to settle down, it is not going to separate from water after when you have left it undisturbed for some time. So what is their observation? So their observation is that group A and group B, they have got the stable mixture. Why we are calling it as a stable mixture? The reason is that because this mixture, in whatever the components has formed the mixture, they are not getting separated. That is why. But in case of group C, chalk powder will start to separate, it will start to settle down at the base, and that is said to be unstable mixture. And group D, again they have got the stable mixture. Filter the mixture. Is there any residue on the filter paper? Now all the four groups, they have to filter it with the help of the filter paper. So what will be their result? Discuss the result and form an opinion. Okay, so group A and B, when they will filter the mixture with the help of filter paper, then their mixture will pass through the filter paper and they won't find any residue on the filter paper. Same way group D also, when it will simply pass its mixture, uh, which is the milk or the some few drops of milk or ink in water, when they will pass it through the filter paper, then also they won't observe any residue left on the filter paper. But in case of group C, where they have added chalk powder in water, and when they will pass their mixture, then they will find that water will easily get passed through the filter paper, whereas all the chalk powder, that will become the residue, and it will be there on the on the filter paper. So that is what all the four groups, they will get, they will uh, they will get such type of observation. Then it is given, discuss the results and form an opinion. So group A and B have got a solution. So now see, you will find that these are the three different terms. Group A and B, they have got a solution. Group C has got a suspension. Group D has got a colloidal solution. Now about all these three, solution, suspension and colloidal solution, we will be discussing in detail with examples and properties later on in this chapter. So this will be clear to you, and now your chapter is almost it is based on these three topics only. As you can see, the very next topic is what is a solution. So you can see that this figure 2.2, it is showing how to do filtration with the help of filter paper, so that you can easily understand. It is given then. Now we shall learn about solution, suspension and colloidal solution in the following sections. Then only two questions are given here, so you have to do these questions and you will be easily able to do this. What is meant by a substance? I have already told you. Substance, you have to write the definition and then list the points of differences between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. I hope that you will also be able to do this on the basis of the example. Suppose if you are not understanding what are the points you should mention in homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures, then you just try to understand what are the examples which comes under these two categories, and from that example, if you will think, you will definitely get some of the point of differences between them. Thank you.